We can sleep under the stars. We can sleep under the stars. Under the stars.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another 2 cents plus video. To celebrate the first video on this channel reaching 100,000 views, I have decided to remake said video in an easier to understand guide. On top of that, I have decided to create a more compact version of the base to make its case use more diverse, and accommodate people who play alone, or with only one other person. This may end up being a long one, so let's not waste any more time. The very first thing I want you to do before attempting to create this build, is to create a fresh new game and go into cheat mode. You can also turn on debug mode by pressing F1 and typing in the letters DM, and pressing enter. Why is this important? Because it will help you follow along with me and do exactly as I do, without you running out of materials or needing to stop. You can just spawn in what you need and follow along. It is important that you get the build down first, before attempting to try to make it in your already existing save. That way, when you try to do it in your actual save file, you have a fundamental idea of what's going on because you have already built the base yourself. Alright, let's go down the checklist. Are you in a fresh save? Have you enabled cheat mode and debug mode by pressing F1 and typing in CM and DM to unlock each mode? If you answered yes to the questions, then you are ready to go. Here are the materials you are going to need. Now that cheat mode and debug mode are both on, you have access to every item in the game, including the special debug items. Open up the cheat menu by clicking the light bulb in your inventory menu. Click on the dev blocks, the button to gain access to debug items, then type in the search box dev to reveal the items. You will only be needing 3 items from this menu: the pistol, the SMG, and the burning ring of fire. The pistol can one-shot any living entity, the SMG can break items with one shot, and the ring of fire creates an aura around you that kills zombies instantly, so you can build in peace. Now that you have these, let's grab all of the building materials. Here is everything you will need. I have blown up the photo for your convenience. To gain access to these blocks, type in the search bar Archon, and all of the reinforced blocks will appear. Pause the video here, and after you have all of the items we can continue. These are also items you will need, but you won't be needing them yet. If you want to grab them, pause the video now and search the cheat menu and get them. It's up to you if you want to do it now. Don't worry. It will come back up later when needed. Alright, all of the groundwork is set, and now we are officially ready to start building. First things first, we need to get the build dimensions down, which are 11 by 13 for this build. Pause the video here, and once you have that down, then we can move on. Next, we will go ahead and fill this in, and then create a staircase onto the platform. You are going to place 5 regular stair blocks on the 11 side of the platform, and then 2 of the corner stair blocks on each end. Again, pause here, and when your base matches mine, we can move on. Next up is the outer wall. You are going to build the outer wall exactly as displayed here. The 2 openings represent where the traps are going to go. As usual, pause here to make sure your base looks like mine, and then we can move on. Now we are going to complete the outer wall. Build the wall up 3 blocks from the platform as you see me doing here, leaving a 2-block gap where the openings are. Pause the video to make sure everything is good and we can proceed. Now we will be putting plates on the outer wall to both cover up the holes and reinforce the wall. I'm sure you can guess what I'm about to say next. Pause and verify. Next up, we will place blocks down on the foundation that extends out to the blocks where the stairs are. Once you are finished, pause the video and verify. Now it's time to place the half blocks down against the wall right next to the opening where the traps will be. Why a half block, you ask? You will find out soon enough. In the meantime, we shall go over how to do advanced rotations just in case anyone is unaware. To rotate blocks to different and unique angles, hold the R key, and a menu will come up. Click on the Advanced Rotations option to be able to rotate the block in various ways. You will be using this method quite often, so be sure to remember it. This next part can be pretty tricky, so make sure you watch this part as many times as needed to do it correctly. These pillars need to be placed horizontally exactly how I am placing them. This method differs from the old method because you will not need to rotate the front pillars when placing the top and bottom blocks. It's hard to explain, but pay attention to the visuals and it should make sense. Pause and verify before continuing. Now is the time to fill in the blocks for the outer wall. Watch what I am doing and make sure to pause and verify that our bases look the same. Now we will be using half blocks to make our ceiling. Why half blocks instead of full blocks? Because if you use full blocks there are some taller zombies that won't be able to get into the kill box, and that would be problematic. Fill in the ceiling and leave an opening at the back of the base so you can get to the roof. This next part can also be a bit tricky, so pay attention. We will now be placing down the vault hatches, but they need to be placed a certain way to work correctly. How do you know it's placed correctly? The hinges are the answer. You need to make sure the hinge on the bottom hatch is on the bottom and the top hatch's hinges are on the top. This will enable you to walk through them freely without hassle. Doubling up the hatches is not absolutely necessary, but it will help in making your base more defensive. If you will be doubling up the hatches, you will have to repeat this step on the opposite side, but it will be difficult to see the hinges unless you back up a bit first. Do this so you can make sure you are placing them properly. Next, we will be building the room for the electricity on the roof. It is possible for you to build this room under the base also, but we won't be doing that here. Build a ladder that gains you access to the roof. You will want a hatch for this also, but here is a tip. Place plates around the hatch to help secure it, otherwise the only thing holding it up will be the ladder, and that's bad news, bears. Now let's build the room for the electricity. It's kind of up to you how big you want this to be, but mine was a simple 5x5 room. Once you have the room built, slap a door on it and you're good. Next up we will be installing our arrow slits. This one is pretty straightforward. Simply place them where I do, and it will immediately make sense why I used half blocks by the openings before. Using the half block gives you a visual into the trap room, and allows you to see and repair the traps easily when looking through the arrow slits. Alright, let's pause here for a second. so I can remind you that I worked very hard on fixing this video, and making things as comprehensible as possible for you. So if you could take a moment and hit that like and subscribe button, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you are interested, I have a cooking channel called Fam 2 Cents, where I am currently documenting my journey through culinary school. I also have tons of cooking videos you can check out. Thanks again for your time. Let's get back to the video. So now the fun part. We have to wire the electricity. The best thing I can do for you here is doing the whole process exactly how I did it and you follow along. Explaining it can make the process more confusing. Just follow along and do exactly as I do and pause where necessary. And with that, we have reached the end of the video. This video took me quite some time to make, and I have done the best I can to make it as understandable as possible. But I'm sure there will still be questions, comments and concerns, so be sure to leave them down in the comment section below. I will be responding to everyone that needs help. Speaking of help, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also check out my cooking channel Fam 2 Cents, link in the description. I never do things like this, but let's try a little experiment. If we can get this video to 500 likes, I will immediately get working on the Horde test video to show you this base in action. I'm super busy at the moment, but I do plan on working on it anyway. But if you guys can get this video to 500 likes, it will really show me you want the content, and I will bump it up my priority list. Thank you guys again for all of your support. I will see you soon.